Right now at noon, the Sun Prairie School Board loses its president. Why she says she's stepping down from the position. Plus, President Trump holds a cabinet meeting after taking an unprecedented step to oust a Federal Reserve governor. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Spreiter. Right now, the retrial for Devontae Gafford is underway. Gafford is accused of the 2023 shooting death of Devon Grant. In Gafford's first trial, the jury only convicted him of possessing a firearm. However, the jury was unable to issue a verdict on his two other charges, including first-degree intentional homicide. Coming up this afternoon on Live at 4, Maddie Heimsch will give us an update on what is happening inside the courtroom. The Monona Police Department is investigating after someone showed up to the ER with a gunshot wound. Someone dropped off the man at a Madison ER and left just after 2:30 yesterday afternoon. The subject underwent abdominal surgery at another hospital. Madison police began the investigation and later called Monona PD around 4 after being led to an apartment on Eastgate Road near the Taco John's. Officers did find the vehicle that brought the person to the hospital in the area. No arrests have been made and the condition of the victim is unknown. The Sun Prairie School District no longer has a school board president. The district announcing board president Katie Kamoku is stepping down. This is the second resignation this year. The district said Kamoku resigned to spend more time with her family. The school board is welcoming Isaac Sung, who is filling a vacancy after a resignation in July. News 3 Now sat down with Sung in an exclusive interview. He says he's hoping to bring more transparency to the board.
All the hurt and the pain and like the complex emotions that the public is having, a lot of mistrust with the district and mistrust of the school board itself. So I think trying to repair those relationships is one of my first steps and one of like the biggest priorities for me.
The district continues to face backlash over the arrest of Robert Gilkey Meisegeier, a former dean of students now facing 15 charges related to child sex crimes. His next court appearance is next week, Tuesday. Right now, a Madison priest is in jail after his arrest for child sex crimes in Wapaka County. Investigators say Andrew Showers attempted to travel to Clintonville to meet a 14-year-old girl. Showers works at Our Lady of Guadalupe and St. James Catholic School here in Madison. The Diocese of Madison says it has fully restricted from public ministry during the investigation. The 37-year-old was booked into the Wapaka County Jail on tentative charges of child enticement, using a computer to facilitate a sex crime, and attempted sexual assault of a child. Conditions remain cool and mostly dry this afternoon. First Four meteorologist Jacob Montesano has the certified most accurate forecast. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Josh, and just like yesterday, as we take a look outside, we are seeing a lot of blue skies, just a few clouds here and there, but we are certainly very dry at this time. Looking across southern Wisconsin, the current radar shows nothing in terms of rainfall. And zooming further out, the surrounding areas are also seeing very little rainfall, just a few light showers in Michigan, but really the entire Midwest and Great Lakes region has continued to be very dry during this time. Now, temperatures remain below normal, upper 60s, lower 70s. The temperature reading in Mineral Point has been a little bit off the last week or so, so that 61 is probably a little bit warmer, but overall upper 60s, lower 70s, a little bit warmer compared to yesterday, but still below normal. And high temperatures are expected to get into the 70s for just about everybody. Again, still below normal for this time of the year, but it is warming up a little bit, and temperatures will continue to warm up a little bit for Wednesday. Overnight, though, we're still going to have a very chilly night. Lows around 50, maybe upper 40s for a few locations. But as I mentioned, those temperatures are going to continue to warm up, possibly into the middle 70s for Wednesday, but still below normal. The average high for this time of the year is supposed to be in the upper 70s, and we're going to continuously be in the middle to lower 70s going forward. We also won't see much rainfall, but I will track our next chance of rain and show you the forecast for Labor Day weekend, all coming up a little bit later.
All right, Jacob, we'll see you then. Thank you. President Trump is convening his cabinet today as markets react to his move to oust Federal Reserve Board Governor Lisa Cook. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
President Trump is holding his 7th cabinet meeting of his second term hours after taking an unprecedented step in his ongoing battle with the Federal Reserve. Late Monday night, the president posted an apparent letter of termination to Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, the first black woman to sit on the central bank's board, saying he found sufficient cause to remove her from the post over allegations of mortgage fraud dating back to 2021.
I'll fire her if she doesn't resign.
Cook said in a statement no cause exists under the law and she will not resign. Financial analysts say the president's move risks undermining the independence of the central bank.
Any sitting president, this would set the precedent, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, that you could potentially use interest rates as a political tool. It just does call into question the health of the U.S. economy.
Cook's attorney says they will be filing a lawsuit to challenge what he calls the illegal action. President Trump is also facing increased pushback from Democratic governors warning him not to send National Guard troops to their states as the president weighs expanding his anti-crime initiative in Washington, D.C. to other cities, including Chicago.
Chicago's a disaster. We may wait. We may or may not. We may just go in and do it.
Mr. President, do not come to Chicago. You are neither wanted here nor needed here.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has indicated the state is prepared to fight in court if troops are sent. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The Wisconsin Badgers season opener is this Thursday. Be sure to tune into News 3 Now this morning for special live coverage ahead of game day. Then Eric Franke and sports director Andrew Banstrell will get you ready with Wisconsin Game Day live from the UW Fieldhouse at 6:30 before the game. They'll break down what's new for the team and at Camp Randall this year. Then stay tuned at 7 for a more in-depth breakdown of the team and season streaming on Channel 3000+ as we gear you up for game day. WISC-TV and Television Wisconsin have completed a major upgrade to our over-the-air broadcasting system with 2 new transmitters. This means that those watching us with an antenna will need to rescan their TV. To rescan your TV, all you have to do is open your TV's menu, select Settings, then choose Channel Scan or Auto Tune. We also have these instructions at channel3000.com/rescan. If you watch WISC-TV on cable, satellite, or streaming, you will not need to make any changes. Well, coming up on News 3 Now at noon, how Dr. Pepper and Keurig are planning a split just after merger, plus why the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is looking into thousands of Honda and Acura vehicles.
Dr. Pepper and Keurig are planning a split 7 years after the two companies merged. It's expected to come after Keurig Dr. Pepper wraps up its $18 billion acquisition of Peet's coffee owner, JDE Peet. After the split, one company is expected to focus solely on coffee, while the other focuses on other beverages like Dr. Pepper, 7-Up, and energy drinks. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says it's probing into reports of engine failures involving more than 1 million Honda and Acura vehicles. The agency says it had determined that a 2023 recall involving a crankshaft defect was not the cause of the engine failures, and that investigation was later closed. NHTSA says the new probe will, quote, further evaluate the scope and severity of the potential problem and fully assess the potential safety-related issues. Impacted models include the Honda Odyssey, Pilot, and Ridgeline, and the Acura MDX from 2016 to 2020, and the Acura TLX from 2018 to 2020. And Starbucks Pumpkin Spice is back starting today. The fan favorite is part of the chain's lineup of fall products that also includes a new tiramisu latte and new food items like Italian sausage egg bites. For those looking for an extra kick in their Joe, Starbucks Reserve locations are serving new pumpkin-flavored cocktails. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Here's a look at the stock report at the noon hour. The Dow is up 6 points, Nasdaq up 47, and the S&P 500 up this hour 6. Our Call for Action volunteers are in the building today taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. Call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. Pam has the farm numbers ahead, and Jacob is tracking the first warn forecast. And later on Live at 4, caring for caretakers. Why those tasked with caring for you often have trouble seeking it for themselves. Welcome back. Let's check in now with Pam Yankee for the Midwest Farm Report. Our last day with you for a while, Pam.
For a couple days, yeah, they're actually chasing me out of the old farm barn over here, so forcing me to leave. But I'll still be fooling around and online having some fun. In fact, this afternoon I'm going to continue having some fun. I'm heading out towards Sun Prairie to visit with my friends at Ranksea. They've been around since 1846, and they're having a great field day. I'm going to go out and say hello. Speaking of saying hello, Governor Tony Evers said hello at Southwest Technical College down in the Fenimore area. They had a big celebration. That fellow you see there is Adam Wytick. He is the founder of Fork Farms. I visited with him up in I visited with him up at Titletown Tech. Fork Farms is really a hydroponic indoor farm system that is being shared now with 22 schools around a 5-county region in Wisconsin. Basically, it's designed to put kids' hands to work trying to grow food for the cafeteria. Maybe as a fundraiser, it's also going to help them better understand agriculture, business, and science. It's a really cool project. Every one of the Fork Farm units is state-of-the-art. It's a vertical farming tower. It was made possible in part by a grant from Cummins, and each one's valued at about $5,000. So the school cafeteria fundraising efforts, and the teachers all going to benefit from that. They are going to focus specifically on plant science and ag business courses, and the teachers are also going to get 3 months of supplies and supporting curriculum to make sure that they're a success. Fork Farms, again, like I said, a startup that is in Titletown Tech up in Green Bay, and now sharing the good food news with those folks that are distributing them to the 22 schools around southwest Wisconsin. Way to go. All right, crops look good as far as our latest crop progress report is concerned. About 2% of our corn silage already harvested. So that kind of brings up the safety monitor that I always remind you about. Be careful if you're going to be sharing roads with those big farm equipment masters that are trying to harvest the corn silage. Today, barrel cheese up 4 at $1.80. 40-pound block cheese up a penny and a half, $1.81. But the AA butter takes a step back, down 5.5 to $2.18.5 per pound. So that's where we'll leave it for a little while, Josh. But like I said, I'll still be doing some work from the wings. Just going up to my favorite place on earth, up by Green Bay, for a couple days to try to let the kids here at the Midwest Farm Report do their thing without the old broad hanging around, you know.
We have to chase you out of the radio barn because you just are such a workaholic, farm babe.
I love it. I love it, baby. How can you not on a day like this?
Oh, absolutely. It's good to be passionate. All right, you enjoy your time off. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Well, staying dry for now before the chance of rain returns. Here's meteorologist Jacob Montesano with the first warn forecast. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Josh. Yeah, it looks like we'll see that rain chance return Wednesday night. But other than that, we really aren't going to see much through Labor Day, with highs consistently in the 70s. And those 70s do look to continue for the entire 10-day forecast. So let's take a look at the rainfall chances. Not going to see anything for the rest of the day. Partly sunny to mostly sunny skies. Clear skies overnight. A few clouds here and there. For Wednesday, we may see a few isolated showers in far southwest Wisconsin, but most of the area won't see any rainfall during the day on Wednesday. We're going to continue to see partly to mostly sunny skies. Until we get to the overnight hours, we'll see a few isolated showers early. A little bit of a better chance of rainfall once we get later in the night, past midnight towards Thursday morning. And it looks like the best chance of rain will be for Madison and areas to the east. Could see a few isolated thunderstorms, but most of this will clear out by sunrise Thursday. Might see a few lingering showers during the morning Thursday with a little bit of fog. But for the most part, it looks like it's mostly going to happen Wednesday night, with Thursday, especially Thursday afternoon, remaining pretty dry. Now, that's going to be just about the only chance of rainfall over the next 7 days. So as we take a look at the accumulation forecast, again, the best chance of rain will be for areas east of Madison Wednesday night, but most of the area only going to see about 1/10 of an inch overall. Some places may not even see a single drop of rain from now until next week, Tuesday, which obviously 7 days from now. So this dry period is going to continue. Now, good news is that we're going to see very comfortable temperatures continue as well, warming up a little bit, but still remaining below normal. Lower 70s for today, plenty of sunshine. Overnight lows will drop to near 50, a few upper 40s, a few lower 50s, but it is going to be another chilly start to the day tomorrow. And then afternoon highs a little bit better, middle 70s for Madison. It still will be kind of in that lower 70, upper 60s range for places to the west, as there is a little bit of a chance of some isolated showers, but most of the area, again, not going to see much rain. Now, fast forwarding for Thursday night, first Badger football game It's going to be a chilly one, but it's honestly kind of perfect football weather. I feel like a lot of times the first game can tend to be pretty hot here, but that's not going to be the case. It is going to mostly be in the 60s during the game, maybe upper 50s. Definitely bring a light jacket, but we're not expecting rain during this time. And then we're going to continue to not expect rainfall for Labor Day weekend. A little bit of cloud cover Saturday, but overall a lot of sunshine, and the temperatures will be a little bit warmer, middle 70s versus the lower 70s we have been seeing. But again, not expecting much rain, maybe a few isolated showers here and there, but it looks like we're not going to see any consistent rainfall return until the middle of next week. Obviously, I mentioned that chance of rain Wednesday night, but beyond that, don't expect to see much rain for the rest of the week, but we are going to continue to see very comfortable temperatures. They may drop a little bit for Thursday and Friday after Wednesday, but then they are going to rise again for Labor Day weekend. And I say rise, but all these temperatures you're looking at the 10-day forecast are pretty much below normal. Pretty close to it for the middle of next week, as they will get kind of in that middle to upper 70 range, but it's still going to kind of be in that cool, we're still in that cool pattern, especially when you look at some of those overnight lows where we could see a few more 40s before we do warm back up next week.
Yeah, all that fresh air has been nice, though.
I enjoy the cooler temperatures. I just know a lot of people trying to hang on to summer as long as they can.
We can be happy with the 70s. We
Right.
just got to keep the 70s for like the next 4 months or something.
Yeah.
Even though I know that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Today, Howard's stocking homemade Chinese food in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
How come whenever we make Chinese food, it never seems to taste like when we order takeout? Well, besides the fact that they often use all sorts of ingredients that we can't find in our everyday supermarket, one of the biggest differences is that Chinese restaurants almost cook everything in a really hot wok. And with a few tricks, we can make ours taste takeout worthy. The first thing we want to do is make sure that our skillet, or better yet, our wok is super hot before adding any ingredients. You see, the benefit to a wok is that it's designed with more surface area, so everything cooks quickly. After coating it with some peanut oil, we toss in some slivered garlic and ginger. After that starts to sizzle, we add some strips of beef. Once it's browned, which only takes a minute or so, we add in some snow peas, onions, and red peppers. After about a minute or so, we stir in a mixture of soy sauce, brown sugar, rice vinegar, and cornstarch. Maybe serve it with some quick cooking rice, and dinner's done faster than you could order takeout. So the next time you're craving Chinese food, go online and get the recipe for our 5-minute beef stir fry, now that you know how easy it is. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a more authentic way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Up next, a new UW Health Clinical Dietitian Michelle Harnish on which fats are healthy for you and which ones to avoid. Welcome back. UW Health Clinical Dietitian Michelle Harnish is with us for this month's health segment, and we're talking about different types of fat, and not all of them are bad.
Right. For decades, we were afraid of fat. We had fat-free foods, fat-free diets, just assuming that they were going to make us fat and give us heart disease. But that hasn't borne out to be true. In a lot of the research we've done, we've found that there's different kinds of fats, and the healthiest ones are actually pretty essential for us to be healthy over the years.
What kinds of fats are we looking at that maybe people would be interested in eating more of?
Well, technically they're called polyunsaturated and monounsaturated, but those aren't required to be on the food labels. So the safest way to look for them is you want to find your plant and fish sources. So things like nuts and seeds, avocado, olives, and olive oil. Your fatty fish are going to be salmon and trout and tuna and mackerel. So those are going to be great ways to get the best fat. What they do good for us is they actually help us with brain health from infancy to our older days. And so brain health is such an important thing these days. It's a really great way to help that. Also, they're anti-inflammatory, and these healthy fats actually improve our heart health. And so it's not true that all fats are damaging.
What should we avoid then?
The main thing you want to avoid actually is what they call hydrogenated fat. So you have to look in the ingredient list and you'll see either hydrogenated fat, hydrogenated oil. Those are actually kind of off the trans fats, which we know are the most damaging. In the middle are saturated fats, which are all the other kind of animal fat products. We found that we don't need to avoid those like the plague, but just keep them portion sized. really try to increase actually your healthy fats, and that can help with all of the healthful balances that you can get. And use fat as a healthy thing, not something to avoid.
And that's like one of the things, everything in moderation, right?
Yes, it is true.
Awesome. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for the tips today. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. Let's go to Jacob now with a final check of the forecast.
Thanks, Josh. Very nice over the next 10 days. That trend is going to continue. We are going to warm up a little bit, but still remain below normal. Highs in the middle to lower 70s. Overnight lows in the 50s to upper 40s. We are going to warm up a little bit for the middle of next week as the rain chances do increase as well. But from now through Labor Day, expect mostly dry conditions, just a chance of rain Wednesday night, and very comfortable temperatures, although we are going to see some chilly mornings.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Thanks for watching News 3 Now at noon. Coming up next is The Bold and the Beautiful. Our next newscast is live at 4. And a reminder, you can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. Make it a great day.